I was actually losing money because it took me forever to figure it out. Most of the things I never figured out, and it cost me money. It's the opportunity cost. It was costing me the money that I'm making now. I could have been making a long time ago had I invested in a coach.
That is just phenomenal. And then where did you go from there? Were you like, oh, I got the bug, now I'm just going to keep bidding? Or
Yeah. So from there, I actually was just like, okay, so I kind of figured it out. I figured this thing out a little bit, right? And so I basically went back and looked at, well, what did I do to get that particular contract? And I did it again. Then I started landing contracts on top of contracts. I call it contract stacking. and then I was landing them simultaneously. And before I knew it, those contracts were getting larger and larger, of course, because, you know, you get to make the price. I didn't understand the value of what I had to offer. And I didn't understand my pricing structure or any of that stuff, but I did it anyway until I learned and figured it out. And so that's what happened. Like I just actually rinsed and repeat what I did. And then it led to larger opportunities and better opportunities. And then I said, oh my God, like just imagine if more people knew about this. You know, they don't teach this in the schools. They don't teach this in business school. When you go down to open up your business license, they don't tell you about this stuff. I'm like, I need to just be the voice to spread and let people know this is what's going on, you know? So eventually I evolved into also becoming a consultant and teaching other people how to do this stuff.
And I'm so glad that you have done that, because the thing is about government contracting, there's definitely a strategy. But like with other things in life, like I think about basketball, I'm pretty sure LeBron doesn't have or never had more than one coach. Yeah. You don't just have one coach. You have to have multiple coaches, multiple mentors, multiple experts as you grow and evolve as an entrepreneur. And so it's great that you're here and you're in this space because, as you said, most people, they don't know about it. Even when we step out as entrepreneurs, they still want to keep us broke.
Yeah, that's so true. It's crazy though, because like you say, you have to have a coach for everything. Like before I understood how to really create wealth and how to really create abundance and to grow a thriving business, I absolutely did not understand the importance of investing in coaches. I did not. In fact, I was the type of person in my mindset was like, if I can figure out how to do this on my own, I'll do it on my own, just because I thought I was saving money. And I thought, right? But what happened was I was actually losing money because it took me forever to figure it out. Most of the things I never figured out, and it cost me money. It's the opportunity cost. It was costing me the money that I'm making now. I could have been making a long time ago had I invested in a coach. And so now I literally have a coach for everything. I have a coach for coaching. I have a coach for business, for accounting. I have a coach for everything. So I have a coach to tell me how to speak, you know, to be a great speaker. You have to invest in yourself. One thing that I learned is like when you invest in yourself, it opens up opportunities for you to receive what's called a return on your investment. But that return on your investment multiplies by hundreds of thousands and more than what you invested in the first place. So it actually doesn't save you money to save money and not invest. It actually costs you money, but it actually makes you money when you spend money. And then that's when I started getting coaches for, well, I need a spiritual coach. I need to know these things that are happening in the spiritual realm, you know, that just does not make sense, right? All the things that we learned in the natural, when you get into the spiritual realm of attracting abundance, you learn that those natural things just does not work, especially when you're trying to become wealthy and, you know, you're trying to break generational curses and all that stuff. Like you need to understand how things really work. And so what I learned is like, you have to spend money to make money. This is something that we've heard, right? We've heard this stuff growing up. You got to spend money to make money. It didn't make any sense, especially when you come from like a broken mindset, you don't really understand that. But once you start testing those standards and those principles and you see that it actually works, it's crazy. It's like spending is the way to receiving. Giving is the way to receiving, right? And it talks about that in the Bible. It talks about giving and seeding and then reaping harvest. It talks about those things. And so those are the things, of course, that I've learned, and in order for me to grow to where I am today, it took for other coaches to help me open my mind and just kind of pull back the chains that had me bound.
And I love that you share that. There's so many gems there. I love just the spending money and on coaches, and also understanding you got to spend to receive, and this spiritual realm. Oh, for a whole nother segment. I could go on and on about that, but it's so true, because the spiritual element, our health, our business, wealth, family, all of it are tied together. They're not just these little pieces and parts floating around in different zip codes and area codes. They're all connected. And so I love that you shared that, because the one thing is, especially as an entrepreneur, being in that place of just confidence and being able to charge what you're worth is vital, because if not, then it's a going out of business strategy.
Absolutely. It's crazy that you talk about charging what you're worth. You have to know who you are, and you have to be confident in that, right? A lot of times when people start a business, I would say 100% of the people don't really understand their worth, right? Because you're spending time chasing customers, you're spending time undercutting and bargaining your services and all those different things, when there are premium buyers out there who will pay you top dollars for your services. And until you understand how to get in front of those premium buyers, it's going to be really hard for you, right? Really, when you create a business without that information, you create a job for yourself, in which I had a job when I first started my business. How could you work 60 to 70 hour work weeks and be bringing home $30,000? That was a backwards job called slavery. I enslaved myself, and gave myself a small stipend, along the way. That's what that is. But what I also learned is that you are who you attract. I used to be a cheap person. And so it wasn't until I started spending premium dollars where I was able to actually not only be able to feel comfortable charging premium prices, but I feel like if you do it, then you have the right to ask for it, right? So you cannot be a cheap person who want a bargain shop and then ask someone for a premium price. It's out of alignment, and your energy is going to be off when you ask for that. Like you're going to be uncomfortable asking for something like that. So you have to be who you want to attract. That's very key in life, in business, in relationships, all those different areas. You have to be who you want to attract.